Fehu is cattle, that's wealth on the hoof. Uruz is oxen, enduring and tough. Thurisaz are giants, the foes of the A's. Ansuz is Odin, ash-hung, speared and dazed. Raidho is travel, a journey to take. Kenaz is fire, to burn or to bake. Gebo is gifting, all the forms of exchange. Wunjo is joy, we should all celebrate. Hagalaz, hail, clears the field for new growth. Nauthiz is need fires, give what we need most. Isa is stasis, like frozen in ice. Jera is year, all things come in their time. Ehwaz is you, the great tree of the world. Pertho's the rune cup, where its mysteries revealed. Elhaz is elkhorn, protective but sharp. Sowilo's sun gives us growth with new warmth. Tiwaz is Tyr, who's a just and true king. Berkana's birch is the start of new things. Eiwaz is horseback, the rider and steed. Manaz is humankind, allies and friends. Lagus is water, engulfing and deep. Ehwaz is Frey, the great lord of the seed. Dagaz is red gold, the dawn's early light. Othala means family, no one left behind.
Gold in a chest is bone in a barrow. Wealth is living, meat and marrow. Cattle in fields, feeding and breeding. Children at home, learning, then leaving. Bury a treasure, in time it decays. Sooner or later, life's price will be paid. Choose to invest, decide what you'll buy, else you've gained nothing but gold's empty shine. An ox will strain against the yoke will strain against the ox. A plow will cut the stubborn soil. The soil dulls the cutting plow. A farmer strives beneath the sun. The sun has seen a million farms. Yet suns in time will all wear down, as all things follow nature's laws. Though some will fight, we all must lose, if final fate is what decides. It's what we do between that's strength, how we spend a given life. May the venom you've spit be returned to your throat. May your bile and vitriol burn you. May the victims you've wronged meet and join in a throng as a wall to repel their abuser. May every barb you've thrown impale you. May belittling words prove you small. May the fools who support you turn round and ignore you, or else cheer your self-propelled fall. May the pain you inflict be yours only. May the harm you do hurt only you. May you never achieve what your twisted heart seeks. May you find better paths to pursue. May you squirm when your foes treat you fairly. May your agonies bring you clear sight, that it's not enemies who cause your miseries, but the blowback of your strife and spite. Hanging aloft, ash-speared, dazed, awed, sacrifice and the sacrificer. Air and earth aligned at Yggdrasil. Throat and ear rang, magic radiated. A familiar vibration, a call. Wotan! Warriors sang, wizards chanted. Runatir, Farseer, Fate Reader. Aesir leader, Valhalla's master. Named alphabet maker, Aleph, Ansuz. A wanderer is never short of roads. Within and across 9 worlds they reach. Even within finite worlds, the roads link each place to each, uncountably. A gray immortal could walk them all, but the places and the people change. The same old road never stays the same. Even if you stand still, time travels. Multiply times, places, and paths, there's roads enough for eternity. Kindle, Kenaz. Fire of the mind is a hungering thing. It takes all that its maker will give. Beware you'll feed it the whole of your being, yet starve it and neither can live. Feed your fire steel and it softens and flows. Feed it ore, silver, or gold. Feed it a roast or a golden brown loaf. The food it wants most is your soul. Yes, stack up idea twigs and kindle with thought, then stoke with a forged tinder's will.
Next pile up wood by the labor of hand, pour love till the flames drink their fill. Then lean in enough to be warmed and inspired, but mind how the flames kiss and charm. They'll happily claim a stray hand, heart, or brain, and replace it with something transformed. I burned up my flesh on the pyre of my mind. Both were consumed in their mutual fire. I chose to give life and illumine the night, than to leave brilliance cold and a body entire. Gifts for birthdays, gifts for birth, gifts for need and gifts for worth, gifts for wedding, gifts for love, gifts below and gifts above, gifts for parting, gifts for hosts, gifts for kindness, gifts for boasts, gifts for contracts, gifts oblige, gifts show thought, but gifts can lie, gifts to give and gifts received, gifts define us, gifts are we, gifts are nature, gifts return, gifts to bury, gifts to burn, gifts are welcome, gifts are right, gifts give giving, gifts are life.
You echo Wunjo. Joy, enjoy, rejoice. Dance, entrance, romance. Veil, unveil, reveal. Sound, sing out, resound. Call, enthrall, recall. Wine, entwine, rewind. Flame, inflame, refrain. Glow, aglow, regrow. Soar, encore, restore. Grin, begin, again.
Live in interesting times, they say, an ancient Chinese curse. But thinking further on that phrase, there are things could be worse. Would you rather die before the times grew interesting? Or run and hide just to avoid the complex and confusing? Would you live in boring times each day just like the former? Is any time in any life so perfectly immortal? The fear, of course, is that some change will only make things lesser. But stagnancy is guaranteed itself to breed disaster, and most now live in miseries they wouldn't mind disrupting. It's worth the pain to mayhap gain when times get interesting. The truth is, time does what it will without our curse or blessing. No matter what we'd wish, the times are often interesting. So learn to swim before you drown in time's unstable currents. And praise the storm. For all its harm, it brings a chance to flourish.
Nauthiz needs. Needs a many-layered thing. There's needs and needs and needs. There's what we want and what would help, than food or air to breathe. When to the many gods we pray to give us what we need, they're kind enough and wise enough to grasp what mortals mean. We don't protest that they are lax or somehow negligent, but that supplies are not ideal for some one supplicant. We might need more of certain things for comfort or success, but wider needs of everything are met no more, no less. The greater powers don't object to those who ask for more. They just need to make sure their due is spread to every shore. So if you want a larger share of blessings to enjoy, then make your deeds serve others' needs. You'll find yourself employed.
Life isn't infinite. Unlike motion, it exists without inertia, defined via friction, resistance, depletion. Invest it wisely while it persists. Resist hostility. Cultivate intimacy. Appreciate silence. Remain still until circumstances require otherwise.
Use her as your landfill, and she will feed you garbage. Use her as your garden, and you will reap a feast. Use her as your cash box, you'll starve when she is empty. Use her as your partner, she'll double your returns. Use her for your battles, and she will take your bodies. Use her as a gallery, and she will show her beauty. Use her as a whorehouse, and she will pimp your children. Use her as a lover, and she'll be yours forever.
Ehwaz, Intertwined. Words in a poem, links in a chain, threads in a weave, hairs in a braid, strands in a web, nerves in a brain, thoughts in a mind, players in a game, runes in a bag, stones in a pile, drops in a well, ash in a fire, grass in a field, trees in a wood, kin in a home, all in a world. Pick up the rune cup, what do you see? 1 rune, 2 rune, maybe 3. 3 for the 3 Norns, weavers of word, Verd and D and Skuld and Erd. 1 for a warning, 2 for advice, 3 for a blessing, what's the price? 2 and 4 symbols, just a few lines, multiple meanings in each sign. Found by a hanged man, taught to a sow, ends with a family, starts with cow. Scribe them, shake them, draw them each up, you'll find your answer in a cup. Pick up the rune cup, ask your fate. You'll find your fortune soon or late.
Elhaz, Hedged. Paths in life divide, and we see just the paths we've walked. Perhaps another branch or 3, some open but some blocked. And in review we will recall paths chosen, branches burned, and we might wonder further on what lay down pathways spurned. What view, what joy, what better life was never once proffered? Who would we be if otherwise those options weren't deferred? The barricades that shape our lives more often aren't perceived. We're spared the hurt of wondering what might we have achieved. There is no answer anyway. No future was resisted. The paths we think we might have trod, they never once existed. While hard to take when looking on, with many paths arrayed, the ways behind reduced to one, the life, weird end we made. Everything existing spins from tip to very top, shining brightly as it turns and darkened when it stops. Galaxies and maple seeds keep swirling as they drop, since the cosmos turning burst out burning with a pop. A whirling mass of flaming gas burns brightly as a sun. Around that gleaming gravity some planets may be spun, some rung about with many moons or only one or none. The ones that turn get light and life, and those that don't are done. Air and water circulate as nature's cycles turn. Electrons spin through circuitry to make the nightlights burn. Like ocean tides our very lives in pulses loop and churn. An ending comes in moments when this revolution's spurned. Give and take and turn about, reflecting shining bright. Feel gyroscope stability and generator's might. So long as there is motion, there is hope of life and light. Resist the urge, refuse to budge, get stuck in static night.
Loki's Ode to Tyr. Stiff staff, sharp shaft, Pater's pointed pole, gleaming god, rigid rod, standing straight and sure. Massive mast, Tiwaz task, hunting honors whole halls, upright, bond bright, layering lupine's lure. Beast bound, dragged down, trick betraying trust, turn tail, wolf's wail, warrior's withdrawn vow. Fist fed, ripped red, spearman short and stump. Duty done, twisted tongue, one hand wanker wielder now.
Ma. Ba. Birch is called the forest mother. Berkana, Baith, and many others. Smooth and milky pale of bark. Sometimes ragged, rough and dark. Graceful, modest, bowed and slight. Staunch, enduring, aged, upright. Sweet of sap and pleasant scent, compared to maple rather thin. What's a mother? We may disagree, except for one trait of this tree. What makes a mother of the birch? When growth is needed, she goes first. It's true the rest is dress and pose. Mothers show the way to grow. And when a mother's time is done, her path is marked by what she's grown. Who's above and who's below is best defined by skill. The mount is strong, the rider wise, but both have their own will. A leader shows a gainful path. Support comes from the citizen. The teacher teaches what they know, the student gains by listening. But on a subject they don't know, a teacher holds no credit, and when a leader steers us wrong, to follow shows no merit. And when the mount scents danger near, the rider is wise to heed, for circumstances may invert which end is best to lead. First, describe for me a hammer. 12-inch, inch-thick wooden handle, clawed steel head,
rounded flattened nose, glued together, smooth and simple. Then I can show you the 3-foot plastic-handled sledges, clawless, ball or pointed heads, the split sticks lashed to stones. Now describe for me a poet, light-tongued, long-sighted, ever dreaming, sensitive souls, delicate-tempered, ever inspired and writing. Then I can show you angry, drunken, hard-nosed warrior skalds, harsh-singing punks, graceless hacks, struggling to grind out every verse. Now, describe for me a human.
What romance in those liquid depths? Wellspring stillness, darkly serene, cool and calm and silent. That's all a lie. Maelstroms lie below. Swirling currents, deadly tides, constant battles to survive. In water, life and death mingle inseparably.
A seed does need its proper ground, some earth, some air, some womb. If planted ill, unliving still, each never whole alone. To find the ground to meet its need, the purpose of each germ, to get in place and find its mate. Growth's the sprout's concern.
The dawn is that annoying friend who wakes you up at 6 a.m. to do a little running. The dawn is that bizarre coworker who's at your desk ungodly chipper when work starts in the morning. Dawn is when you rise from rest but haven't had your coffee yet, a mind held in suspension. Dawn is full of promises, like dusk is full of cold regrets, the burdens of potential. Dawn is not a certain hour, it's any time that gathered power is ready for release. The pressure of a coming rise, the start of bright and busy times, the end of dark and peace. Once the center of a home was a blazing, warming hearth, but now it seems the family meets mainly in the car. When traveling from place to place in calmer conversation, we sit entire around a fire of gasoline combustion. When meetings end, when work is done, when time for sleep or meals, the family car collects us all, our mobile hearth on wheels. And on the back we sometimes find a ribbon of support, Othala's sign meant to remind us family travels far.